colon 423 get fame. That's 423 get fame. I would tell you to leave a message, but the truth is, I don't really care. I've had this hotline open for months, and not one of you jokers have what it takes to be famous like me. So leave a message if you want, but don't expect a call back. I've got way more important things to do than to waste my time on losers like Mascarita Sagrada and you all. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Grave Consequences podcast. We thank you for listening. Of course, my name is Caleb Baldwin, and you can follow me on Twitter at IamCalebB. That's I am Caleb, and then another B there at the end. Follow my friend, co-host, and producer who does most of the work here, my good friend Greg, last name redacted. You can follow him on Twitter at XMaserati. Subscribe to the Social Suplex Podcast Network, wherever you download your podcasts. And check out everything there on that feed. It's an aggregate. It's got like 8 or 9 different shows on there, and all of them just great, just amazing. Of course, the recording date is Monday, January 10, 2022. We are here back to back. This is the second part of the doubleheader. And this is Season 3, Episode 2. The working title is The Amulet. Greg, do you have anything for us on the alternate title scene?
No, nothing that stuck out during. I mean, it'll probably get named after something during the Marty and Killshot match, but nothing off the top of my head.
Well, fair enough. So that being said, the first thing we see here is a Joey and Cortez segment. They're in there with the commissioner. And the one thing I noticed, and I don't know how it took me this long to figure it out, but these segments in particular are being filmed like in a storage unit.
You were breaking up a little bit there.
Check out those walls, dude. I was breaking up.
Yeah.
Am I still?
No, you're good now.
Okay. Well, the one thing I noticed, though, about this segment is that this was clearly filmed in a storage unit.
Yeah, it's very closety.
Yeah, for sure. But, we're being told how, we're going back to the temple and, the chief is like, we need to blow this case wide open. And Cortez, we got him on Cisco. Why are we not, what's going on? And yeah, this segment was stupid.
It's very rough because I don't know if she's a bad actress or if she was told to act it like in a B movie. I'm actually assuming she is good. And they told her to film like a corny, 80s B movie.
Yeah.
Because that's how her delivery is. And it doesn't, if you think about it, I said it on the previous show, if you think about this at all, it'll fall apart. It'll just crumble up and blow away in the wind. You can't critically think about this at all because it doesn't make sense. What she doesn't tell him what he's supposed to be doing. He's doing what a cop would do. He's like, we just got a guy for murder. That's not you know what I mean? You'd be like, what do you mean that's not enough? What do you want? And she goes on about well, don't you know there's things there that don't make sense that you can't explain? It's like she wants to be Ghostbusters, but he's a cop. Yeah. So it's very. They could have even had her be like a special paranormal unit, but I don't know. I just, for me, it's almost as. It's hard, man, because I think they wanted to have a B movie feel for a lot of it, and a lot of people like that, but sometimes it's a little too stupid for me.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. After that, oh, by the way, the champs play us in again, of course. After that, we have our first match of the evening. It is Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Mascarita Sagrada, the former client of Famous B versus the current client. And Famous B heals it up, takes the mic away from Melissa, introduces us to Dr. Wagner Jr. This match is short and sweet. A Dr. Driver gets the win for Dr. Wagner Jr.
This was a kind of a throwaway match. I didn't really...
Yeah. I feel like it's more to further the story between Mascarita and Famous B.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. didn't even remember it until you brought it up. But
Yeah.
as soon as you brought it up, I was like, oh yeah, it did happen.
Yeah. Well, it's a typical Masquerade match. He's working from underneath, might get a shot in here or there, but the match is going to be short, and he's most likely going to lose.
Yeah, I just would have thought he might have. They might have saved it.
Yeah.
But, it's very much a AEW dark type of match.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So after that, we go back 1,000 years ago, and we see an Aztec warrior passing on as he gives an amulet to his daughter. Perhaps Katrina?
Should I spoil it?
Well, here's the thing. We cut to the police chief, and she is holding, like, looks like half of an amulet for what a Captain Vasquez is her name, not the chief, pardon me. And so we see that this is clearly taking place before Ultima Lucha Dos. This is before the arrest is being made, and it's whatever. We're retconning things, but I don't care.
What are we retconning?
Like, I don't know. We're retconning like what happened to Castro and all this.
What do you mean?
I don't know, man. But yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
No, you're good. I mean, it's hard to follow because it's basically turned what happened at the end of the last season into nothing. It didn't matter. Never mattered.
Well, it didn't matter as soon, because the first thing we see is Dario getting out of jail.
He gets out of jail. It's like, why did you even arrest him if you didn't want to do that? She's the chief. She calls the shots. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if she didn't want to arrest him, she could have been like, no, don't arrest him yet.
Exactly.
So it's just, I don't know. They're making a lot of decisions that come out like farts in church.
Yes, you are not wrong. But after this, we cut to our our second match of the night. Argenis versus Mil Muertes, and this match was absolute domination by Mil. Like, just absolute. I mean, Argenis hits a moonsault and he gets a 1 count.
They have to, unfortunately, because of the decisions they made last season, they have to build some people back up.
Mm-hmm. That's not wrong.
What we're doing here.
So here's the thing. A lot of times I'm not a fan of Vampiro's commentary, but sometimes he has some charm to him. Like, for example, as Mil Muertes is setting up for the flatliner, we hear Vampiro imitating a flatline.
He's good sometimes. Like, I don't like it makes people probably think we hate Vampiro. It's just we're gonna call him out when he does stupid shit.
No, you're exactly right, man. You're exactly right. So after the match, of course, Mil Muertes gets the win. We see Prince Puma standing on the apron, staring a hole through Mil Muertes, and Mil gets taken down by Prince Puma with a springboard splash. And even better, Prince Puma holds court in the ring after Mil Muertes is pushed back by Katrina. Like, she's just like, yeah, you're done. Like, we're not doing this anymore.
It's very much, I don't remember how this feud goes, but neither person really needs it.
Yeah. I feel like Prince Puma may, like, he just lost the main event of Ultima Lucha 2 years in a row. He does need to be built back up, I would say.
Well, here's this. Instead of, and hear me out, instead of him fighting Mil, he goes into another program with Ray and gets his win back. And Mil gets into a feud with Matanza. Mm-hmm. And eventually gets his win back. Or even, I'm pretty sure Cuerno is gone this season.
I'm not certain.
There's a season where he doesn't show up for a while. For a very long time. But I just would have kept Mil, because Mil needs to be built back up. Losing to Puma wouldn't bury him, but it would just establish, like, this is your place. And he doesn't need that right now. We need a little bit more uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you have a guy that's been in a certain area and he just randomly maybe he gets that big win against Brock Lesnar, sometimes it's just too unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a Hangman versus, I know we talk too much AEW, but a Hangman versus Daniel Bryan worked because he's kind of thrived under pressure. Because a lot of people have doubted him, but he has stepped up to the main event. And he wasn't the main event for a while. He was the jobber for the Bullet Club, practically.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's what the point I'm trying to make is it's not easy to do that, and they're taking too many liberties with some of their talents to make them, get someone. They're getting people over at the expense of people that kind of need to also be built back up.
You've dreamed of building a family, but the journey hasn't been easy. I'm Dr. Laura Shaheen, a reproductive endocrinologist helping people build families every day. On our new podcast, Baby or Bust, we'll be learning from both reproductive experts and people who have faced challenges just like yours. Join us every week for Baby or Bust, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make sure to follow us so you never miss an episode.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong, man. Sorry, I zoned out there for a second. I don't know what's going on, man.
I know.
Been a long day, I guess. It's been a long day for both of us, of course. Dario is in his office when Joey Ryan shows up and immediately just sells out the police force. And he says, like, hey, I'm a cop. Castro is a cop. And he's like, come on. Like, you got this intel? Give me some money. He does the little, like, hand motion, the dollar bills, y'all thing. And he's like, dude, wasn't doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I've got child support. Come on. Give me this bribe.
Yeah, he plays a scumbag very well. He's not as egregious as I thought he would be, because it's just his real life character. It's just kind of like blends together so well.
Yeah. The less said about that, the better. Also, Castro asked for contrition from the captain after he was basically suspended, and he gets it in order to go back to the temple.
But now he's got a target on his back.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good time for him. It's not going to be a good time. My God. We've got our main event. We've got Marty the Moth Martinez versus Killshot in a weapons of mass destruction match. Marty's out here in full military, like Stolen Valor cosplay. And as Marty's walking down the steps, Killshot attacks him. And then we just get plundering. Just a plundering.
I mean, the whole match there is just crates everywhere that we're supposed to believe has, weapons and ammo and stuff. Mm-hmm. Little cachet cases. There's ladders, there's tables. It's a very interesting take on just a hardcore match.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's not the usual stuff.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. This was just, oh my God. At one point, Marty takes Melissa hostage.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And Stryker even calls it out. He's like, that's a hostage and that's bullshit.
He does take Melissa as a hostage. There's one knee strike I think he took before, like they were in the bleachers or in the crowd. Killshot just ran at him with a V-trigger that looked like a real flying knee. Like Marty I don't know if he's great at selling or if people really just hit him because they don't like him. Yeah. But it made me kind of wince. It was awesome. I mean, this match succeeded because it built both. Because Marty's been a joke character for a while. He takes he lost the Sexy Star twice in the same night, I think.
Well, he lost to her in her second match of the evening in like inside a minute.
Yeah, he's been a loser, and this match had him take so much damage to kind of build him up as a credible threat, because it took a while he took a lot and he didn't get pinned. He didn't get taken out. And one of the interesting things is Marty does 2 testicular mandible claws. To Killshot in the beginning. So it's good to keep that in mind before we get to the end. But this very physical, very amazing match. Like I wasn't really in the mood to watch when I was watching. I was in and out, but this match brought me back. And this is one of my Killshot legit has some of my favorite fucking matches in Lucha Underground easily.
Yeah. Yeah. So at one point, Stryker refers to Marty as Charlie. It's like, is that racist? Because Marty's like Hispanic, which is not Vietnamese, but it's like, is that racist towards the Vietnamese because it's not the 70s anymore? Like, I
actually had the same thought. I was thinking about it. I was like, I think that was racist.
Yeah.
But that was in Vietnam, wasn't it? When they were doing that?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know what the C is supposed to, because usually those things reference certain things. So I don't know. I remember a job I had two years ago. Someone was he was using the other terms you will hear in Full Metal Jacket to reference people in overseas. And we were all kind of like, hey man, probably shouldn't say that. Like, he was a veteran, so he didn't get in trouble. I mean, he's probably seen some wild stuff, but he was definitely a crazy person. So this is when I worked 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. So crack of dawn, I didn't really expect to be hearing those things as soon as I walked. I basically was like, how's the other, things we're supposed to be monitoring? How's everything looking? And I get every bad, like the worst terms you can hear from the Vietnam War. I was like, ooh, I don't know if you should say the G word, sir.
Oh, dropping the G word at like 3 a.m. What is wrong with people?
He said the Z slur too.
You'll have to tell me the Z slur, because I am blanking on that one right now.
Which is good. That means you're not a racist. I'll tell you after we record, because it's one of the really bad ones.
I think I may remember it now, but you'll tell me off the air for confirmation. We get some action on the apron, and I'm waiting on a table bump and a Wrestling Society X style explosion, quite frankly.
There's a lot of tables being set up. I think, I don't know. This match was better than, because they kind of it started from last season, right?
Yeah.
There really wasn't much build up for this.
Yeah.
But this was like a all night long match.
Yeah, this was really long. Like, I think there was like 14 minutes left on the show when this match started. And I'm going to say this, by the way, at one point we get a sick catching cradle driver by Killshot that only gets a 2 count. And that led to my next note, which says, nobody does deathmatch wrestling better than Lucha Underground.
I would say they do very well with that. Yeah. It'd be very hard to argue that. But that dude, I really wished that it looked like he landed right on his neck. That he took it because he's a big dude.
Yeah.
When he started doing it, I was like, can he even get this on him? Is this safe? And he did. It's a shame it wasn't the finish, even though the finish was great. Moves like that I like to see moves like that end the match.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, let's see here. Oh man, Mariposa interferes as they're both on a ladder, and she's climbing behind Killshot. Of course, there is a table behind Killshot, and as a result, also Mariposa. Mariposa gets kicked off the ladder and falls through the table for her trouble.
Yes, she does, and we're getting to the point where Matt Striker even points out, because they're fighting on the top of and there's nothing to grab. They're just fighting on top of the ladder. And it's basically like who's going to fall down, how they going to fall down.
Yes.
And Mariposa just distracted Killshot. So he's at a disadvantage. He's got to climb back up.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, as Matt Striker points out, Killshot pulls out a testicular mandible claw. And it's only fitting because Marty's been doing it the whole damn match.
Yes. Yes.
He gets him with that. And do you want to, I'll let you run through the rest of the finish if you'd like.
So, I mean, Marty's just done. Killshot rips off the dog tags. He gets his tags back. And then we get a Warrior's Way foot stomp from Killshot, and Killshot gets the win.
He takes him all the way. Like, he just puts his feet on Marty's chest and just pushes down and falls. And it's probably the best double stomp I've ever seen.
I would agree, sir. I would agree. That is a hell of a main event. This was better than last week's main event. Any match on last week's episode, quite frankly. After that, we cut to Mil Muertes, and he's clearly punching a wall when Katrina shows up and scolds him. And Mil Muertes says, "I want Puma." And the only thing else I wrote down is that Katrina has the other half of the amulet.
Yes, Katrina and the captain are linked.
Yes,
in a way that I think you forget, but I remember.
Captain Vasquez. I believe I remember it, actually, but
we'll talk about it off the air.
Yeah, it's one of two things, I'm pretty sure. But hey, folks, if it feels like we ran through this one, I do apologize, but this was a very good episode. And I'm going to give this a B+, actually. That main event really, really lifted this show up.
I'm going to give it a B+, and it does seem like we ran through it, but there really wasn't much more to say about the storyline that they start out with Castro.
Yes, Castro, Joey. Yeah.
Yeah, Joey Ryan and the captain. I mean, the captain's going to come back. They're the what match between Dr. Wagner and Masquerita.
Yeah.
And Puma having to talk. There wasn't much. There was a lot of setup in the beginning of the show, and some of it's for a bad plot line, and it's all really this match. And I would say it's only 2 episodes in, but this is the best match of the season so far.
I would agree. Yeah. Great show. Hey guys, you know what? Thank you for listening. And just remember that, like, if you grab me by the nuts and bolts, you're gonna be suffering grave consequences.